It's time to get a little less serious about wrestling. This is the Alternate Commentary Table with lifelong friends.
Notice your difference in size.
And lifelong wrestling fans.
Each is a very capable performer, and each is a little too clever to give the other boy much of an advantage.
Mitch Hontzias.
Credits himself with a lot of power.
And Dimitri Karolis.
So that he got all that power from drinking raw olive oil all through his youth.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's me, it's Mitch, here at the ACT. It's 1 week left. Where did time go? I said I wouldn't do this. Dimitri's gone. I'm all alone. John's leaving. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, you guys. It's happening. I didn't think the time would be so fast. It's here already. Welcome to Celebrate Wrestling. We're part of the feed on Celebrate Wrestling. It's the ACT, the Alternate Commentary Table, with Mitch and Dimitri. Dimitri is unfortunately not in this week. Why? Because he didn't say it. He didn't tell me either, to be honest, where he is and what he's doing. Hope he's safe. I'm worried sick. As his confidant, as his partner in crime, and in all that we do. I had to do the radio station today by myself, and I said, wait a minute, this seems weird. Where'd he go? But in all honesty, he's just obviously at a work event. He wasn't able to make it. I had it all geared up to have South Carolina George join me again on the show, but then weather hit here in Calgary in the YYC, snow, and then two other things happened that a little expected were my sons. They both woke up miserable and causing me havoc. So unfortunately to South Carolina George and to the others, I had to kind of start a little later. George obviously has his life and his world to live with. So unfortunately, I couldn't get him on at the time that I wanted to get him on, which is right now. It was a little late to call Mike and the rest of the crew on the the GWO. I feel like I could have called Joe last minute, or I could have called Mike last minute, but at the same time I thought, why don't I just do a quick little show just to make sure that we're all taken care of, because as the holiday season comes upon us, we're not going to be, it's not going to be here every other week. We're going to be here, I think, 2 more shows and then a couple of weeks off and so on and so forth. So I wanted to get at least that one show in there. And on top of it, guys, come on. I can't let go of what happened on War Games / Survivor Series. So let's do a quick little recap on that. But before all that, what have I told you? Go to Celebrate Wrestling page, get on the socials, get to the Facebook page, get involved, and be a friend. Join us. We'll let you in. We'll open the door as long as you're not a bot, as we always say, and be nice when you're on the show, and we're not just the show. And that's the other thing. We might be calling you up, and this is where I do apologize to the other GWO contingent, because my plan, and I've said this to Dimitri, and he kind of agrees, we want to start bringing on some of the people that seem to tap us on the shoulder and say hello each and every week. The Sal Grecos to everybody, really. I have a contingent list here. Who don't we want to bring on? We want to bring on everybody. The Chris Hodenot, or the Huvendot is that? I think that's kind of how we're going to say it. Douglas Stanford Grady is also somebody that's been chiming in lately. The Matty Smith. And of course, the Tips McGee, and so on and so forth. So many of you that we want to get involved on the show, and we will. We promise we will. The long and short of it, guys, last week I was on a heater. I don't think I made any mistakes. I think I made just one just now. So that's one knock on the mic check to Dimitri and or me this week, okay? But that's it. There's not going to be any more mistakes. Nothing's going on. Let's do a quick recap, ladies and gentlemen. Again, it's just Mitch this week, so let's have a little fun. I won't keep you too long, so that way you can just listen to somebody while you're doing the dishes, or if you're vacuuming, or putting up the Christmas lights. A little something for you to listen to while you're doing those things around the house. The honey-do list, if you will. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into it. Survivor Series recap. What do you want me to tell you? I was disappointed. Straight up. I got to be as honest as I possibly can. I thought it was the worst PLE of the year. Triple H had the audacity to go on the broadcast, on the presser, and say he thought it was the best one of the year. I don't know what he was watching. Was he watching Netflix recaps of other War Games and other things? Because I don't know how you can possibly go on TV on a presser and say that was the best. That, to me, was the worst of the year. Is it the worst of all time? No. Was it the worst of the year? By far. I don't even know how you can compare it to. And I just wasn't happy with anything. There was 4 matches. The week before we said AEW, you guys might have overdid it, okay? Maybe overdid it with the 6-hour show. But I can at least say, having watched all of it and obviously talking about it, it was one of the best ones I've seen because the quality was there. A little too long, cut back on the fat, cut back on the amount of guys you need to do a great performance like that. But at the same time, the WWE did a great show where they're like, okay, we'll do four of our major stars with, granted, especially in the men's division and the women's division, you got 20 of your best wrestlers all in the ring at the same time, 10 with the ladies, 10 with the men. Okay. But with all due respect, it was not, I don't know, it was clunky, it was not good. You started off with the women's division, I get it, everyone was kind of waiting, and very much so, I think, alternatively, we were trying to compare it to Blood and Guts at AEW the week before, a couple of weeks prior, and it did not live up to the standard. Meltzer and Mike last week on Mike's show, said it beautifully. Like, it just did not, knowing what they were up against, they fell really short. It was like watching last year's, where the women last year looked like they hadn't communicated and talked prior to the match. It looks like part 2 was last week when same thing happened. It was just not a great showing. And I'll even prove it one step further. Last week, as I put it on, my brother-in-law, who's not a big wrestling fan, came over to see his nephews, and he came over and I put it on, and he's like, "Oh, you're watching the wrestling?" And this is where one of those awkward moments where you're like, a guy that's not heavy into wrestling is going, "Oh, you're 40-ish years old and you're watching wrestling? Okay." I thought to myself, I'll show him why I like wrestling. And when the women's match started and ended, it was one of those where I should turn it off now. I literally felt like he just embarrassed me in my own home, or they embarrassed me in my own home towards my brother-in-law. I was so disappointed with that match, ladies. I got to be honest, very disappointing. And here's one of the main reasons why. You got 10 of the best women's wrestlers right now in the game, all in the same ring. Are you all, knowing you guys all kind of have to help each other, but you're kind of trying to still be an individual or something? Why are you guys not utilizing that? Knowing you guys are all good at what you do, why is it that you guys feel as though you have to outdo the other? Just be yourself, do your own thing, and you'll be successful just automatically because you guys are that talented. For example, Rhea Ripley, who, by the way, is now, bringing down all her luggage as the last entrance to come in, right? She's bringing down the trash can. She's bringing some other instruments of death to the ring. This, that, the other. She looked like Santa Claus in a lot of ways. Mrs. Claus. She was bringing all the fun items down to the ring. And Io Sky, the whole trash can thing, 2, 3, 4 years ago, whenever she first did it, it was awesome. Why? Came out of nowhere. Over the last 2 years, you guys have done nothing but try to push that on us so badly, where now you even have it written on the trash can. You have her name and her symbol on the trash can, and it's kind of obvious and it's kind of cheesy and it just doesn't work. And I was just disappointed. And then to end it all the way they ended it with, again, where AJ now put the, let's say, submission move on Becky, was that your guys' way of going, hey, AEW ladies, watch this? Great move. I think that move is really cool. But at the same time, you guys how could you not know you guys didn't live up to that expectation? How did you not know? You knew. So I have to give that one a total X. I thought it was a horrible match. I did not like it. I was actually really disappointed. I even remember texting Dimitri, who was non-responsive, by the way. Again, does anyone know where he is? I have no idea where he is. Anyways, he did acknowledge and said, yeah, man, not good showing at all. The other, I will say this, thank God for Stephanie Van Cure, and I can't believe I'm about to say this, and Nikki Bella. They put on at least a decent match. We knew the outcome was going to be Stephanie retaining her title, but at the same time, that match was when I say much better, it was much, much better than the initial match to start the arena. Well, then we go to the UC Championship, the IC Championship. Damn, it's strike number 2 against me and Dimitri. The IC Championship. John Cena. I can't. Guys, I just can't. Oh, my God. John Cena coming down, taking on Dom in what I thought was easily the best match. But again, kind of started off a little clunky. Did they need to do the whole fake injury thing during the match? I mean, yes, now in hindsight, it worked. But during the time I was watching it, I was like, oh, it's kind of cheese. Why did they have to do it? But it all was made up at the end. When you got to Liv Taylor Liv Morgan, damn it, number 3, Liv Morgan coming down to be that protagonist, what you thought she was going to be, kind of changing her ways and being good, and she's going to tell Dom to hit the bricks. No. She did the John Cena from February at the Elimination Chamber, which was just unreal, where she turned around and said, hey, I'm still with Dom. And then gave him a little kick in the junk. And ladies and gentlemen, Dom is back as the IC champion, exactly where he should be, around his waist, as the greatest. It's not me saying it. It's Sports Illustrated and Becky saying it and everyone else saying it. He is maybe now the greatest of all time. Excellent. I liked it. Were there too many people involved? Did they really need literally the entire Judgment Day to come down? Not really. The Liv alone was more than enough to suffice, and it was awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, Dom for the championship. I loved it. And then the Monday Night promo I thought was good. Still, they need a little work on the promo stuff, but overall, I thought it was excellent. And I'm starting to see who really runs that household, if you will. Liv is starting to very much so show the world that, yes, I'm not ready to wrestle, but I'm ready to lead. And she's showing that. And we'll get to that in a few minutes when we talk about Monday Night Raw. Then we get to the men's final match. I mean, 10 on 10, the Brock and his team versus CM Punk and his team. I got to be honest, that match was good. It was fine. It was good. But again, can I be honest? And this is kind of part with the ladies match at the beginning. Where they don't put them in the shark cages and they just have them coming out to their own music. There's something... Even though I kind of thought it was going to work, it didn't work. And I don't know why. I'm not really sure why it didn't work. It did cause a lot more delay and everything. And to Mike and Meltzer, again, praising them in their show last week, I have to admit, the commercials and everything like that, guys, it's happening. We're witnessing what we all thought was going to start happening. The commercials, the things like that, they're going to be rammed down our throats. We're going to have to deal with them. It is what it is. But it does cause a delay in everything. Now, was the show still 4 hours shorter than AEW? Yes. Do I appreciate them for that? Absolutely. But at the overall expense of everything else, it was still, like I said, the worst one. So as we watch that match transpire, and all of a sudden it looks like CM Punk might be able to get... Wait, who's that guy jumping over a hooded individual? Climbs the fence really quickly, by the way. And the internets have been moving quite a bit, like the stock market, up, down, and around the corner. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody and their dog is saying it's Austin Theory. There was a lot of speculation that even before the Brock, it was going to be the Austin Theory. He hasn't shown up yet, but he's kind of the guy everyone's pressing for. Was it Austin Theory? Kind of, I could see it being him. The little sidekick, I think, is what's throwing everybody off. Because is that part of his arsenal? I've never really seen him do that before. So then a little piece of me jokingly said, I think it's Seth Rollins. Boy, would that be a twister if it was, right? But I don't think it was him either. But it does make sense if it was, because why does the person that jumped over the fence have to be affiliated with the Vision? Why? Guys, if there's one thing I've learned about the WWE and AEW, whenever it looks like it's about to make sense, throw it away. Your theory is wrong. No pun intended on that one. It's going to be wrong because their job is to keep us on kilter, to keep us on tilt. And when you think you're going down the right path, I have a feeling 7 out of 10 times, 8 out of 10 times, you're probably on the wrong path. You were on the right path, but somebody in the writing department definitely changed it and made it a U-turn. And most of the time, it actually kind of works. It's just the reality is we don't know who was that mystery person that jumped over. And here's a couple of things I put into my little equation of who it could have been. You got to be able to be athletic, kind of bulky. The person looked pretty strong. And on top of it, you got to be able to jump into the ring, look at, kind of play it well, little sidekick, little head stomp, jump on the fence, jump out. Okay? One person that I feel, why couldn't it be this person? Okay? I saw it on the internet. I thought it was kind of a cool thing. And if they end up doing it, Mitchy Likey, Zoe Starks. Yeah, I know. Why can't they have like a Marina Shafir kind of person in their arsenal? Why? Why not? I've been saying when the bloodline was going on, ladies and gentlemen, why wasn't Nia Jax on any of the teams? Why? She's just as tough, if not tougher than all of them. I would rather fight Talatunga than Nia Jax any day and twice on Sunday. You name it, I don't want a piece of her. But I'm just saying, why not? She's kind of strong. She's built. She's strong. She could climb that fence. She could hop over and give him a little kick. Overall, this is the one thing that saved that pay-per-view from being a 0. From maybe being the worst of all time was that last little element of suspense. Who was it? And when are we going to find out? And how are we going to find out? And the nice thing is that it takes us into the Monday Night Raw because, ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you, Monday Night Raw was kind of a nice little opening act where, okay, the women that were all in that first match may have not put on a hell of a match, but the one thing that I did like is that they're all kind of best friends, like with one another, and all of a sudden you got a whole faction of WWE tag team. Somebody in writing or Triple H or somebody came up with the theory going, listen, men's tag team is not working. We don't know why. We can't seem to figure it out. Let's push the women's tag team division. Okay, sounds great. Charlotte and Alexa, Rhea and Io, Nia and Lash, the Kabuki Warriors, your champions. Roxanne Perez and Raquel and Big Bailey B and Lyra Vakir all together. Wow. You know what? Not bad. I kind of like this idea. If you're going to put them all together and all fight with each other, okay. And Liv Morgan giving the blessing to Roxanne Perez, okay. All right. I may not like the PLE, but I'm starting to like what you guys are maybe trying to jam down my throat now with this women's tag team division. Not bad. I'm starting to like it. With that being said, I have to admit, I think that could work, but is that where we're going right now? That the women's tag team division has overtaken everything else? Interesting. It's interesting. And then on top of it, if you remember in last week, I think it was SmackDown's promotion, Rhea Ripley went over to Damian Priest and said, hey, can I talk to you? And then they did a vignette yesterday on SmackDown. The Twin Terrors, I believe they're called. They're calling themselves. Okay. Okay. I mean, you guys know how I feel about mixed tag team, but I don't. Is this a new thing that we're going to start doing? The mixed tag? Is this a thing now? Because they're doing it more often. I don't know. Yeah. Let's just leave it there. Let's continue on. And the last time is now. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. It's next week. I can't. It's LA Knight taking on Jey Uso on Monday night. And listen, I mean, at the end of the day, Dimitri and I called it from weeks ago. I think a lot of people did. And it's now the most normal thing to say, okay, so John Cena lost his IC belt to the Dom, the younger version of now the newest and greatest champion of all time. That makes sense. I get it. I like it. However, as the internet was chirping and saying, now all of a sudden, we got John Cena going to take on either a Gunther or an LA Knight in the finals, and we kind of know who it is, and we'll talk about that in a quick minute. LA Knight, Jey Uso match, yeah, it was exactly what we thought it was going to be. It was fine. And then Jey Uso loses as he did, and he was not a happy camper. And so he's kind of going through what Bayley went through a couple of months ago when we witnessed that. I have to admit, they better do something with this. The Jey Uso right now is falling apart. He's going through a midlife crisis. He's trying to figure out his identity. He's trying to figure out, is he a tag team guy with his brother? Should he just go back to what worked and what worked really well? Or does he really want to be that champion that he did win on his own and he did become? But it's starting to show there's just too many people at the top, Jay. And unfortunately, buddy, there's not enough room for you. I think you're going to have to take a back seat. And would it be the worst thing in the world for him and his brother to, team up again and be a tag team? I don't think so. Give it a try. Jimmy looks fine. You two together, his shirts are starting to fit a little bit better. You look good. He looks good. Your entrance is still good. It's still getting the people up. But I have to admit, the shine is 4 letters and it's gone. It's not Yeet anymore. It's not Yeet. It's gone. You got to recreate yourself a little bit, but I think you can still save the Yeet if you end up going tag with your brother. I'm just saying. I think it's time, Jay. Somebody's got to look you dead in the eye, and it'll be me. And I'm just going to tell you, you can't do it alone, bro. You got to go with your bro. Time to go back to the tag team division. Nothing wrong with that. You won. You've actually achieved your goal. I don't know why you need to feel like you have to do it again. Let those guys that have done it like this all their lives, let them be those guys. Enjoy, man. Just go back. So you got LA Knight moving on to the finals in the last time is now. I just can't. It's next week. It's next week. Gunther taking on Solo. I have to admit, enjoyed that match. I thought it was pretty good. But again, pretty obvious, Gunther beat Solo. But there was a little weird inkling to that match because as Solo was coming into the ring or coming into the arena that night with Talatanga, he looked at the trailer that had Jacob on it, and he kind of gave it a little look. And I started wondering, does that mean he's coming back today? Is he going to interfere? Is he going to cause a little havoc? He never did. Great work by WWE there. I have to give him a lot of props because they throw you these subtle little hints and you think you're falling for it and then you're not. And then, it all happened pretty quickly. And unfortunately, Solo's gone. Gunther now versus LA Knight are going in. And before I get to the SmackDown, what I really want to say is I was watching that AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, the champions versus New Day. And I don't think in all my years of watching wrestling have I ever seen an alley-oop finish. And what do I mean? Dragon Lee had Kofi Kingston up on the ropes. He jumps off and Kofi kind of bounced in the air. AJ caught him, put him in his finisher and finished him off 1, 2, 3. I've never seen it. Go to YouTube and see if you didn't see it. It was an alley-oop finish. Dragon Lee basically propelled Kofi into the air. AJ caught him, puts him, finishes him. 1, 2, 3. They're still your champion. But I did find one thing weird is at the end when they were talking to the Adam Pearce, they say, "Hey Adam, next week we want the War Raiders. We want a piece of the War Raiders." Where? What? This is what we're. See, this is why the women's tag team division is so much further ahead right now than the men's tag team. Something's got to be said. I really do believe that the WWE has to get rid of the other set of tag team belts. I don't know which one it is. Make the two fight each other. Then there's only one champion and let them go back and forth to the promotions because it is not working. There just isn't enough guys that want to do the tag. And this is why, in all honesty, the Usos need to get back together. And dare I say, maybe the Usos. From there, ladies and gentlemen, the vignette of Maxine Dupree, training hard, kind of like the Rocky. Tell me when I'm telling lies. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. I think you all know where I stand on this. When you got to do a vignette, and it's pretty clear that she's just not ready, but she's the champ now. So you're doing vignettes where she's working hard. When you watch Rocky, the vignettes for Rocky when he was training, he was never the champion. It's like, he's punching the meat. He's doing this. He's doing that. But he never had the belt. She has the belt, and they're still trying to push it over, going, she's still not ready. Guys, it just doesn't make any sense. I'll tell you what doesn't make sense as we head into the SmackDown situation. Let's just go right to the end, okay? Let's just go right to the end. Gunther taking on LA Knight in the finals of the last time Snap tournament. Winner's going to take on Shawn next week. That's Saturday night's main event. And you got basically, what is it, a 41-year-old and a 38-year-old, okay? Where we said it on this podcast last week, and many have been saying it, that the role of this should really be the match that John, I think everyone kind of wanted or expected to see was against somebody younger, somebody where he's passing the torch, which I guess a lot of people can say, well, he did it. He gave it to Dom. Yes, he did. But he's going to go on a 2-game heater. He's going to have lost 3 matches in his farewell tour, 1 to Brock and now actually 4, 1 to Cody as well. And you know what I mean? So Brock, Cody, and Dom, that's 3, and then maybe 1 more? Or is he going to win that last one? I guess we're not sure, but this is a weird farewell tour for a guy that we are dubbing and is the greatest of all time. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I said I wouldn't do it, you guys. But no, in all honesty, I'm just kind of curious to see what they're going to do with this because, you know, with LA Knight also tapping out, again, the tap out, I'm just not a fan of it. These fans pay good money. Austin, Texas last night, they're paying good money to watch what I thought was maybe a 4 out of 10 when it came to SmackDown. I just didn't think it was a great one, 2-hour show. And you end it where Gunther is now going to take on John Cena. He's kind of the good guy, bad guy. We don't know what he is kind of role. He seems to be the guy they call when it comes to retirement matches. That we do know. But to tap LA Knight out and pushing that whole, he hurt his neck right before, I don't know. It just didn't sit right with me. I was not happy. I didn't like it. And I'm sure if George was on the show right now, he would say the same thing. And the show started real quick with Cody Rhodes attacking Drew McIntyre in the car. And, my good friend Nick Aldis, who had called me previous, I just missed his phone call. But he was saying, he's like, Mitch, I can't control Cody. He's out of control right now. And he's the champion. And there's only so much I can say. And when I call him back later, Nick Aldis, my friend, I will tell him, I'm going to say, you know what, Cody needs to understand that you are the general manager, not he. And he can't come in and demand that you reinstate him. You are doing a bang-up job, Mr. Aldis. You keep doing what you're doing. Some would say you're the cream of the crop, okay? That's one of those people is me. Doing a great job. SmackDown last night, like I said, not great, but at least we know who's going to be in the finals tournament. It's Gunther taking on John Cena next week. I'm sorry. Let's move that. All right. Let's just go over to AEW. This is where I wish I had George because he is the be-all and end-all when it comes to the AEW. And I think I speak on behalf of everybody when I say that right now, Samoa Joe, Eddie Kingston, this is what we wanted? This is where we wanted to go with this? I get it. You got to push it up a little bit. You got to make it, fun, and you got to get to the Adam Page. But Adam Page Adam Page just lost. No, Hangman Page. Yeah, that's right. Right, yeah. Adam Hangman. Let's just call him Hangman. Hangman lost the belt recently. And you've also got the Swerve trying to jump in there. And the long and the short of it is that we are not going to get a rematch right away because we have to work into it. This is the kind of stuff I just always find a little bit hard. WWE does it. A lot of promotions do it. I just don't know why we skip over to come back to it again. You know what I mean? If you're playing your favorite song, you just play it 10 times in a row. Just do it. Why we're going back and forth doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but we're going to do it because this is what they want to do. Mark Briscoe, same thing. He's now going, okay, who's next? Oh, Daniel Garcia. See, this makes sense. I know for a lot of people, it doesn't make sense because they're like, well, there's so many others. Yes, but as a challenger, you have to accept the fact that the champion wants a piece of you. So if Briscoe goes, I think I'm just going to start kind of middle pace. I'm going to take on a guy in a faction that just seems to be in a little bit of disarray. He goes, hey, Daniel Garcia, you think you're Brock Lesnar, right? With those shorts? You think that's him. You think you're he, right? Let me beat you up and show the world that you're not Brock Lesnar and that those shorts are redonkulously too big for you. You look ridiculous, and I'm going to beat you up the way I did Kyle Fletcher. Okay, that makes sense. I get that one. That one makes sense. Fine, have it going forward. The Timeless Storm and Mina versus Shafir and Bane. Fun match, good match. I'm still a little surprised to keep pushing the Tony, and I think I know why. It's because she is so good at what she does. It doesn't matter if she's by herself or if she's tagged up. She's going to be running that mic, and if it ends up that she has the tag team women's championship belts in the AEW division, okay. All right, that makes sense. You know what? If that's the way we're going to do it. But it kind of just shows you, unfortunately, it's almost like she has to have the belt for everyone to kind of want to see maybe her and Mina together. Do you see what I'm kind of going there? I like it, but I don't like it because at the end of the day, now all of a sudden Toni Storm is carrying, it seems like instead of just herself, now she's carrying 3 other people, her tag partner, and then the other 2 that are in the match, right? Like the Shafir and the Bane together. I mean, that's a combination that I'd pay, top dollar to watch each and every week. I think they're kind of cool little combination, but we're not going to be doing that at AEW. Why? Because until, Mr. Khan over there, he will decide what goes on. Okay? He will decide. Just like he's deciding that Samoa Joe and Eddie Kingston is a better idea right now. And with that, Adam Page did make a threat last week. He goes, you think you're tough with your ops? I got some friends too. And it makes me curious. See, this is kind of fun. It kind of going back and run around over to the WWE side. Who are these people that you keep speaking of? You're talking about bringing somebody in next week. Who's the masked guy over in the WWE? This is what's fun about wrestling. That it is drama in a lot of ways. The wrestling is great. That's what we all chime in to watch. But let's be honest, we all stick around for the fun and the drama and the what if moments. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. It's Mitch Hontzias here on the ACT. I'm going to do right now what everyone loves, and it is the alternate scenario, okay? I'm just going to do it real quick. I talked about her 1 second ago. It's Maxine Dupree. Is she more, if she ends up becoming a good wrestler, a better wrestler, and she's now already the champion, what's going to be more impressive? Her being a good champion going forward, or Jake Paul beating Anthony Joshua on December the 19th when those two meet in the squared circle? Ladies and gentlemen, I'll tag myself in. Hold on a second. This is a wrestling pod, and we do talk about it all the time, but we bring up UFC, we'll bring up boxing because, well, to be honest, GWO threatens us. So you guys seen the size of them. We have to talk about it. I would say this is so much more of a Jake Paul situation. If Jake Paul somehow beats Anthony Joshua, we're watching the real life Rocky. I really do. I don't think Anthony Joshua, no matter how much money he makes in this fight, is going to lay down for him. It's too much of a hit on his own reputation. He won't do it. So he's going to come out gunning. I think Jake Paul is going to train like he's never trained before. And it's going to be an epic battle. I really do think it's going to be great. And I think Jake has more to win here than even a Maxine Dupree, even if she gets good at wrestling. There you go. That's the alternate scenario. Ladies and gentlemen, next week, it's John's last match. No. Why, God? Why? Let him come back, God, please. Ladies and gentlemen, Dimitri, I think is going to be back. Like I said, I don't know where he is. I don't know. But I think he's going to be back. Love you guys. Have a great week. Thank you for listening. Sorry to George and to everyone else. Hopefully, it was a quick little pod today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Love you guys. Have a great week. Like I said, celebrate wrestling. Get to the Facebook page. Listen to Mike. Listen to Andy and Stefan. Listen to all of us. Why? Because we're good at what we do. We love what we do. And this is a passion play for each and one of us. And like I said, I'm making a solemn promise in 2026. Many of you that chime in on the page will be on this show in some way or another. I make that solemn promise. It's going to happen. Looking forward to talking to all of you face to face, getting your thoughts. ACT out. Chair shot.